Dr. Connor Robertson. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about purchasing short-term rentals and also building a business at the same time. And so the way that these two things go together is you have to keep in mind that most people who are building a business have a goal of storing their wealth. And when they want to store their wealth, there's many different opportunities, right? There's real estate, there's buying businesses, there's growing businesses, there's investing in other people's ideas. There's a million ways that you can potentially build wealth. And one of the most common ones, probably from Rich Dad Poor Dad, is real estate investing. And real estate can be something that's very lucrative. Real estate can be something that does awesome things for you. However, one of the major things that happens with real estate is you have to figure out the vein, the actual type of real estate you want to do. Do you want to do fix and flips? Do you want to do buy and holds? Do you want to do development? Do you want to do construction projects? What is it specifically that you want to do? Now, most people, they don't figure this out until much longer, much further in the future because they are jumping around from project to project to project. Most people, I think, should start with wholesaling if they want active income. Wholesaling is when you take a piece of real estate, you put it under contract at a lower price, and then you resell it to somebody else, and you keep the spread between those two numbers. Now that's great, but that's basically another job or a business, and most people want to build a little bit of wealth and own a physical asset. At the end of the day, when a wholesale deal is done, there's really nothing else for you to do, right? Because you just sold and made some money. When you own a physical asset piece of real estate, you get four core benefits, right? You get the appreciation, you get depreciation, the tax benefit, you get the cash flow, and you get the mortgage pay down. Now the mortgage pay down is probably the most underrated piece of it because a lot of people look at it and say, oh, well, I'm just paying down 300, 400, 500 bucks a month. But the thing that's very fascinating about this is after you get through the first couple of years, you start paying down principal pretty aggressively. And before you know it, if you have 10 of these properties, you might be paying down $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in principal, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if your appreciation, the value of the homes are going up 5% in a year, and the mortgage getting paid down, maybe another 2 to 3% a year, you're creating this 6 or 7% spread from the value going up and the mortgage getting paid down, and that is your equity. And so from a general standpoint, if you're somebody who's getting into real estate, you could either get into midterm rentals, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, or any other type of rental holds, but you have to be able to control all of those pieces: appreciation, depreciation, equity, and cash flow. Now, that part is extremely difficult to figure out, and the reason that part's extremely difficult to figure out is because you're not going to be able to decide what's right for you until you do it. So what I'd recommend is you find somebody else who's already doing this and then try to work through their process. So for example, Robert Kiyosaki put out Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a fantastic book. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot about what to do other than buy real estate. So what a lot of people have done have gone to his courses and learned a little bit about real estate wholesaling and then transitioned into real estate flipping. Once you have a business that's earning you income, or you yourself are earning income, you need to convert some of that money over to wealth building strategies. And the way that you do that is take that money and go plug it into a real estate deal. You take debt, typically 20% down in cash, 80% debt, and then you go own that property. Now, buy and hold real estate, where you just purchase the property and hold it, is very slow to build the wealth, even though you have the appreciation, depreciation, equity, and cash flow. That said, one of the most fascinating pieces about this whole process is that you can do value add real estate. Value add real estate is when you buy a property, let's say $100,000, put $50K into it, and maybe it's worth $200,000. And then you can refinance out your money, and you can kind of do this in a perpetual process. Now, there's definitely risk. Sometimes it goes really well, sometimes it doesn't, but this is the process that you need to go through in order to build value. So you can either be a buy and hold person where you just wait for the value to go up and the pay down to happen, or you can be somebody who creates the value by improving the properties now. And so if you are a business owner and you're somebody that is trying to build some wealth, consider adding the real estate piece to this as well, because it's going to tremendously increase your net worth long term. But you should do it under the supervision of somebody who knows what they're doing. So join a program, join a course, something like that. Find somebody who's doing what you want to do and learn their process, or partner with them on a project so you can see exactly how you can find yourself in that real estate deal. Once you've done it a couple times with that partner or that mentor, then you can start doing it on your own and potentially have other partners working with you.